Imagine you're expecting a baby. The chances of having a boy versus a girl are pretty much 50%, right? Now what if I told you you can actually influence your baby's gender by going on vacation? You're going to Iceland, it's a boy. You're making vacation in Spain, you get a girl. Sounds totally crazy, right? For us humans, that's nonsense. But for some animals, especially for reptiles, this is actually how it works. Why this is happening, why we as humans create yet another problem for nature, and how nature's fighting back, you will find out in this video. What seems unimaginable for us humans is actually reality for some animals, especially reptiles. For them, the temperature in the nest decides if they hatch as males or females. Mariana Saubidet, a veterinarian working at Oceanogràfic in Valencia, is working with those reptiles every day. She explains how it all works.
They mate and the female lays their eggs on the beach. It depends on the temperature of the sun, of course, and on the beach, but it will be a gradient between 25 to 35 degrees. Then the eggs are okay. And from 25 till 27 and a half, it will be males. Then you have an interval in between that could be 50-50. And the hotter temperature from 31 to 35 are females. So it's determined in the third part of the development of the fetus. That is what makes enzymes and hormones go different paths and develop a testicle or an ovary, if it's a male or female. But yeah, with sea turtles, it's hotter the females and cool the guys.
Nature has some wild concepts that actually work. But now we humans come along, and with us, climate change. Temperatures are rising, and that creates a huge problem. There are more females being born than males. This brings the population out of balance and actually threatens the survival of the species. The story could actually end here, but luckily nature's already finding a way back.
The Mediterranean population of loggerheads, usually bred in Greece and Turkey, and now, for a couple of years now, they are moving towards Italy, France, and Spain. And yeah, so they're coming west because the beaches there are colder. And it's good because it's an evolutionary adaptation.
An evolutionary adaptation. Sounds great if you put it like that, but you can also say the turtles are actually climate refugees. Mariana is talking about loggerheads. She and her team are spotting those animals more and more at the coast of Spain. Historically, it was too cold for them here. If you look at this map from 1990, you can see the areas that were definitely too cold for nesting. Theoretically, this stretch of coastline would have been warm enough back then, but 25 years later, almost the entire coast is now suitable for nesting. To show how far these animals can swim, here's an example. A turtle named Regina was fitted with a transmitter, and just within a few months, she swam all the way from Greece to Ibiza. Mariana works in the Head Starting program. They are investigating whether the gender imbalance in the populations in Spain are better than those in Greece and Turkey. To do this, they collect eggs from a nest when the gender is already decided, and they keep them until they hatch, so they can determine the gender of the hatchlings. Mariana and her colleagues can't yet confirm whether the situation at the Spanish coast is improving. They need several more years worth of data. But there's another reason why they take care of the turtles in the earliest stage of their life. Loggerheads are still highly endangered in Spain. Mariana protects them during their most vulnerable phase.
So the goal is to get them as bigger as we can. So we feed them 3 times a day, every day, at first. And the size that they gain in an environment that is controlled, like our facilities, in a year, in the wild, they will take 4 years, for example. But we get them from 14 grams to 1.5 kilos. So when you get them big enough, they will have surpassed all these different types of predators that are waiting for a baby turtle. So yeah, seagulls, crabs, like fish, even fish, they will eat it because they're like this and they're rubber. they're super soft when they are born. So yeah, when they get into a kilo, they have more chances of survival.
Mariana and her team raised the turtles to a point where their chances of survival in the wild are much higher. The release day is obviously a big and important event. Mariana and her team invite various people, for example school classes who were involved in conservational projects. It's very important to include the community in conservational efforts and to celebrate conservational successes. It's a special day for everyone, especially for Mariana.
I mean, working with sea turtles, for me, it's amazing. I enjoy my work a lot. And with the baby ones, I'm a mom, so I love it. When we release the turtles, for me, those events are the most rewarding.
The Head Starting program is mainly funded by national and European sources. However, the funds are limited and only a certain small number of turtles can be included in the program. In 2024, for example, it was 16 animals. That doesn't really make an impact on the population and you won't save a species with that, but it's a start. To sum this up, the Head Starting program in Valencia has 3 main goals. Science. Understanding if the gender imbalance in Spain is improving and generally creating more knowledge about this species. Conservation. Supporting the turtles in their most vulnerable phase of their life. Community engagement. Getting people involved. Conservation only works if everyone is on board. In Valencia, they're doing a great job of involving school classes, fishermen, beach staff, and everyday citizens. Though there's still a long way to go. If you'd like to support projects like Mariana's, I put a link in the video description where you can donate. I had one last question for Mariana. As a vet and conservationalist, she's facing tough challenges every day. Plastic in the ocean, climate change, endangered species, bycatch, dying animals. But yet, she still is a very positive person. I ask her how on earth she remains that positive mindset.
Sometimes people ask me that question and it's like a super weird answer that I give, but for me it's kind of like religion. I think that my religion is to believe that I need to put my grain of sand and that I need to do something with my time on earth and to give back to the life that I had. So I don't know, I think that for me is something spiritual. I need to do this and I don't have any other choice. And I know sometimes it feels like going against the current, but it's good to meet with other people that really cares about it. And it fuels that desire and that passion of continue. So yeah, I was thinking.